Adding modules to Slax or Backtrack live CD from Windows. Slax is a live CD based on Slackware. Slax is designed to be easy to modify with modules you can download or make yourself. Other live CDs like Backtrack, the new live CD from Mutz Max and Red Commie, a follow-up to Auditor and iWax, which are CDs meant for helping you pen test, and Podcast Fertilizer, Informaticon's live CD for podcasters, make use of Slax as a base. This tutorial will show you how to add extra modules to a Slax-based live CD using a Windows app called My Slax. You will find links to download all the needed software at the end of this presentation. Click Next to continue this tutorial. For this tutorial, I'll be adding a few new modules to the Backtrack live CD. First, I need to go out to the My Slax site and download the software and install it. I'll skip the installing part, it's pretty much just a standard Windows install. I'll also need to go out to the Remote Exploit site and download a copy of the Backtrack ISO so I can modify it. I also need to get the free little bug fix modules that have come out since the beta. By the time you watch this, they may have already integrated them into the ISO. As you can see, I've already downloaded all these files to my hard drive. Next, I need to go out to the My Slax site and download a few extra modules I want to add to my CD. In my case, I want to add some drivers for a Wi-Fi card I have, as well as the NTFS progs package so I can modify my NTFS partitions and resize them. As you can see, Slax has a pretty large library of pre-built modules. Maybe in a future tutorial I'll show how to make your own modules for software that's not in the repository. I'm going to be silent here for a bit because it took me a little while to navigate through the website and get the various packages I wanted. I figure while I make you wait, I'll play a little of Craig Jack's Streetwalker for you to fill the time. Now we're going to start up the My Slax creator and add our modules to our ISO. Once it's up, we need to click Next and tell it what our ISO is. In this case, I'm choosing the beta version of the Backtrack CD that came out on the 5th of February. I could also have chosen to rip the ISO off of an already burned CD if I wanted to. Once I've chosen my ISO or CD I want to pull the data from, I click the Mount button and I'm now ready to click Next and continue the procedure. I'll now have to navigate to the packages I want to add before we put them in the same folder. I just click on one and then click the Add button, and I keep doing that till I get all my modules added. Once I've added all my modules, I'll click Next to continue. I'll then be given the option to remove modules that were previously on the ISO. In this case, there's nothing to remove. The next window gives me standard Slax options I could set. I'm just going to choose to ignore them all and leave it as is. I plan on using the CD in future tutorials about Backtrack, so I don't want to make things too different. Now I can go ahead and create my ISO file. It'll modify the ISO that's already there by adding the modules I need, and eventually I'll have an ISO I can put in Nero, CD Creator, or whatever program you like to use. Because of how long this takes, I'm going to truncate a large section of it and just cut that part of the video out. It's nothing really important, just watching the green line across the screen. Boring, boring, boring. When it's finally finished creating the ISO, I'll just go ahead and click Next, see everything's okay, and close down this interface. And next I'll try to test my ISO in VMware Player just to make sure everything seems to fire for right. If it does, at that point I can burn the CD. When you finish viewing this part of the video, click Next to go to the further research section, where I'll present you with links where you can download all this software, as well as find further information on how to create your own Slax-based live CD. Here are a few sites where you can do further research and download the software I mentioned during this presentation. First is the Backtrack website, where you can download the security CD. While you're there, you should check out their other projects, as well as check out their forum. They have a very good community, and you'll be able to find a lot of details on what you can do with the Backtrack CD once you've burned it. There's the Slax page, where you can find out more about Slax and how to add new things to it and how to modify it, as well as download various modules for it. And then there's the My Slax Windows Applications website. Special thanks go out to my cohorts, the InfoMonitorCon.org crew, Max, Mutz, and Red Kami for making this live CD, and all the folks at AntiOnline and BinRev.com.